Is there a universe outside of Bravo?
Did we miss the training manual to our 30s?
No. Are they for real?
Thank God for our girlfriends. Hi guys, and welcome back to another episode of Structured Chaos with Kelly and Kyra. We hope that you had a great week and that you're ready to laugh about how none of us have it figured out.
Hello.
Ooh, nice and chipper.
I even scared myself. That was
happy.
That was aggressive. Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
I am great. I'm feeling well rested. We're recording a couple days earlier. We both have things going on. And so yesterday was the 4th of July and, didn't do a goddamn thing. Didn't do a goddamn thing, but, well, I guess I did have a breakfast date. It was all right. The company was all right. Mm-hmm. The highlight of the menu was our breakfast sandwich called the Daniel.
The highlight. That was the highlight of, just in case you hadn't caught on, I was the breakfast date. But really the true star, the breakfast sandwich, the Daniel. I mean, it just, the theme of the Daniels just carries on. Maybe that means I'm going to marry a Daniel.
So if you guys didn't listen to last week's episode, we gave each other our new monthly prescriptions, and Kelly's is that she has to go on a date. So we have been promoting her, pimping her out. We honestly don't have many standards. So
we also don't have any suitors. So
actually,
no
not
standards.
Not true. We do have one.
Oh, yes, we do. Okay. His name is not Daniel, so he's probably not the one, but we'll give him a chance anyway. Was our server named Daniel?
No, but he looked like he could be a Daniel.
He did.
And he's ready to take Kelly out for her birthday.
On a yacht. He was ready to go. But yeah, that was cute and great. It didn't feel like the 4th of July. Like, I kept forgetting throughout the day that it was. I didn't do anything either besides breakfast, and then just had like a regular day. I went to Home Goods and did some shopping. So
nice. I heard the fireworks though, because I'm only like 3 miles outside of downtown where they have like the big display of fireworks, and so I heard them. They were booming.
Oh yeah, the Big Bay Boom or whatever. I heard, I saw some, I could see the Del Mar ones from my house. And then I saw some.
Poway?
Well, I can't see those ones because of the way that my balcony is. But I could see the ones in Mira Mesa. Okay. And I could also see, tons of people around me put them off. So I saw tons of different people sets. Tons of different sets. They were going off for like quite a while, and Scouty did not like them. At one point I went out onto my balcony to look, and I thought maybe she came out on the balcony. Obviously it was dark, so I wasn't really looking. And then I went back inside and I could not find her for like 20 minutes. And I thought, oh, she got spooked and jumped over. And I was panicked. I was screaming her name. She was hiding. So that was my 4th of July.
Of course you thought she jumped over.
Well, because she wasn't coming to her name, which she sometimes does, sometimes doesn't. So then I dispensed food from her automatic dispenser, which always gets her to like run in excitement. She did not come. And so I was like, oh my God. And I was looking, and I looked under my bed and I didn't see her. So I was like screaming, which probably scared her more. And then I looked under the bed again, and then she was like in the dark corner.
She's like, bitch, please.
Yeah, she's like, relax.
God forbid a girl get some rest.
I know. It's a psychopath. So, anyways, it's a little bit about me being a single cat mother. Anyone want to take me now?
Daddy. Yeah.
I'm looking for a single cat Daniel.
So this week we are going to break down all of the shows, and honestly, not much happened in the news other than the Diddy trial came to a close. The sentencing hasn't been done yet. That's not until October, but basically everything he was charged with, he got off, and he only got charged with 2 counts, and it was just engaging in transporting a prostitute. And I just saw today too that they're going to try to charge Cassie, because essentially she's done the same thing. And I'm like, that's so fucked up, because they were saying how this, like, essentially like the same exact scenario is that she paid for someone to get transported, she engaged in prostitution, and that she picked them herself. And it's like, yeah, of course she picked them because she was being forced to.
Right, and she wanted to make sure that, like, it at the very least she could, like, have some type of control in that situation, even though
like,
really
it's not like
she had none.
She was right, like, it's not like she was just like happy-go-lucky over here, like, oh yeah, I want to be doing this all the time. It's my favorite thing.
That is so traumatizing. I wonder though, like, I mean, obviously this is a law podcast, so I mean, we do know these things, but we try to keep it like relatable. Pretty much like layman's terms, because we don't want to be, too much. Right. So like there must be a law where they can't use like what she said on the stand like against her.
Right, like you can't use what a victim has gone through to then make her what do you call
the suspect?
Yeah. Defendant? What would non-law people say?
We're doing a good job.
One thing about us, like, we get into character. Like, we
are actors. And we are good at it.
So yeah, like, that's like super unfair. Now he's been in jail, so they're saying like he will get time served. His sentencing,
but he got denied bail.
Yes.
Like he's gonna stay in jail till the sentencing.
Yes. So it's just July. I think it was like October 5th or something is the sentencing, but it's looking like he's gonna get out pretty much.
Like he could get out, yeah.
Because I think that like they had said that you only like the lowest amount that he could get based on the charges he was accused of, I think is like 2.5 or 3 years, which he will have already served at that time. He'll have already served 2 years.
And really? I thought he just went in last year.
No, they said he would have already served 2 years. That's what I thought too. So maybe it was from like when he was charged to when he then actually like had to report. I don't know. But yeah.
Or maybe it's one of those things where it's like each charge is 1 year, but it's like the consecutive or whatever that thing is.
Because it's like if you get like a 10-year sentence, you technically only serve 5, and then 5 is like probation and stuff like that. Or
yes, whatever. And then like if you mess up, then you go back or whatever. Yeah. Because I'm pretty sure he just went in like November or October.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
which is crazy because that was a pretty fast trial. Usually, like trials take a long time.
I mean, it seems as if maybe they should have held off a little bit and really got their case together, because everything they charged him for, they dropped, realizing they didn't have a case.
But that's one of the, like, he has a right to a speedy trial. That's one of our rights in the Constitution.
Would we like to follow the Constitution?
Yeah. I mean, as a lawyer, you know this. Like, it's one of the rights of us.
Oh, absolutely.
The rights of us.
That hand went on that Bible. That I took that oath. Okay.
Oh, I know it. I know it well.
What? Like it's hard?
I know it's harder for us to pretend, like to explain it as we don't know it, because it's like we're so high level.
Then I'm like, what? I forget what the common person knows. You know what I mean? Like,
it's yeah, this is the challenge. We need to work on this because this is where we are feeling challenged, and this is an area for growth. Because we're going to lose listeners if we can't bring it down a notch.
If we can't be relatable, they're out.
That's what we built our foundation on, is being relatable. But at this point, we're past. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, other than that, that's it.
I mean, what else is there to say? Moving on to the Valley. Talk about relatable.
So Janet and Jason, so they get to Hawaii. Janet and Jason are on their apology tour, just saying, I'm sorry to everyone that they've offended. And it's just like, we don't care, and you're not sorry, and you're going to do the exact same behavior again. So please save it. Like, please do us a favor and save it.
I feel like Jason, 1 minute, is horrible. I hate him. And then the next minute, it's like he snaps out of it, and it's like he also hates Janet.
Yes.
And then it's like he snaps back in and is like, oh, that's my wife. I have to defend her. But it's like he for sure hates her.
Because even like on this week's episode, when like she was like, I'm not going to go to the dinner. And he was like, and she's like, and tomorrow we're not going to do the boat day. And he was like, well, stop bringing tomorrow up. He's
like, stop making decisions about like this. And she was like, oh, well, you can go and have fun. Like, you go celebrate them.
The passive aggressiveness.
Yeah. And I think he wanted to be like, yeah, you're ruining. He was like, I took off work for this trip.
And from one lawyer to another, we understand what that takes.
Right. You don't get much time off.
Okay.
I mean, he didn't get picked to be on the Diddy trial, so he's probably a little bitter because he was like in the running, but his wife ruined it for him because no one wants that type of press.
And she ruins everything.
Yeah.
So then as of yesterday, the headline read that they left to another country, and she has deactivated her Instagram or her comments. And
she turned off her comments and she fled the country because she was scared of death threats, but then she posted where they went. To Switzerland.
And one thing we know about her, she ain't no Switzerland because she's not neutral in anything.
No. But I will say, even though I think it like 100% was for herself that she didn't go to Kristen's engagement party, thank God she did that.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Because like if I was Kristen, I would be pissed if she was there. So just to like rewind for a second, Kristen got engaged, and I mean, holy shit. Like, if you've been watching from the start, we have seen Kristen go on a journey, like, through Vanderpump. Just, she's been through it with Tom Sandoval, Jax, James. She's really been through it. And so happy for her and Sugar Bear. I mean,
I'm so happy for them. What a cute engagement. He was so nervous. And
so
then,
nervous.
Like, it went perfectly. And then Nia and Daniel were the perfect people to have there, I feel like.
So sweet.
And like everything was executed beautifully. And I was dead like when they were getting ready. And he's like, I think you should shower.
I know.
I think you should. She was like, I don't want to shower.
I know. And then she's probably like, he's never told me to shower or ever talked about what I'm going to wear. And she's like, oh, there's like fish guts on the boat. I don't care. He's like, no, I think it's like a cute, nice boat. And Mia's like, let's take pictures. And she's like, I don't care about any of this.
And then like in her confessional, so perfect. And then in her confessional after, she was like, oh my God, I'm so glad I showered. I've never been so happy to have taken a shower.
I know. But I think like Nia and Zach were the perfect friends.
Perfect.
To have, because like Zach was very much like, okay, we're switching rooms and we have the setup. Like he was so detail oriented, and Nia was perfect for, okay, let's take pictures and where should we do this? And let's get the makeup, and like everything was perfect.
And like, not that I disliked Zach last season, but I think like this season, he's really having a standout season. And I like loved like his whole execution of everything. And he's just been like really funny with his one-liners and everything. Like I've very much appreciated it. I'm dead that his boyfriend and Jesse shared a room.
I know. Okay, so I think what it is like last season and before, we've only really seen him as like Brittany's hometown friend.
Mhm.
And like we're really getting to see him as like him more. And
Wait,
that's
they're
what
friends from
yeah, they
their
grew up in
hometown
Kentucky
friends?
together. Yeah, that's Brittany's best friend from Kentucky.
Oh, why doesn't he have an
Yes.
accent?
I don't know. But
Huh.
that's like her best friend from Kentucky and yes. And so that's why and he came into the group like with from knowing Brittany, like from back home, and he's like very protective of her. And that's why there's like some, I think it's maybe next week and going on like tension with like Brittany being close with Janet, but like
Mhm.
Zach is like her bestie from like before Vanderpump and everything. So that's why there's like some
Oh.
weirdness, but I'm liking to see him more as his own person and close with like Kristen and stuff
Mhm.
because I've always just thought of him as like Brittany's
So
friend.
for some reason, I thought Kristen. So it was like Jasmine, Janet, and Zach were friends, and they were friends with Kristen, and that's how they got on the show. Because I thought
Oh,
that's what they said
no.
last year.
No. No, because we saw Zach like on Vanderpump before. Just like he wasn't obviously a cast member because he still lived in Kentucky. But like, yeah, we've seen him before.
Got it.
And that's always been like her friend. And that's also why like when Jax says things to Zach like at the party and stuff, it's like deeper rooted.
Got
Because
it.
that's like her bestie.
Got it.
But yeah, I'm loving him this season too. I think it is weird that they shared a room with Jesse. I didn't really understand why they were all in the suite. I thought it was interesting that Jesse was like, let's get 1,000 or 10,000 or whatever flowers.
He was like, "Oh my God, they're getting engaged. He's like, let's get 5,000 petals. Let's get 5,000 petals and 5,000 or 500 petals and 500 roses."
Yeah, so then I was like, is he a romantic? Because
And then
a
I was like,
narcissist type person would be like that.
for sure.
So that does add up. If he's a narcissist type personality, that does
100%.
add up. Yeah.
And another person that I was so glad was not on the trip. Thank God Jax didn't go.
Thank God.
So grateful for that.
And when Zach called Brittany and was like, "You're gonna be so mad at me," and Brittany was like, "Jax is here," and Zach was like, "No." Like that's not even like a funny
Right. That's
This is not a funny
gotcha.
joke. And then Jesse and what's the guy's name? Aaron.
Yeah.
So weird. I definitely think Aaron and what's her name hooked up.
I honestly, I think I just like don't care so much
Well,
that I'm
right.
like not even paying attention. And like to me, it is just always still going to come back to she's in a healthy relationship, whether we all agree or not. In her mind, she is in a healthy relationship. He is so envious of the fact that she is in a healthy relationship and has moved on. So I think like it doesn't matter what is told to him or what evidence is provided to him. He's still going to think that in his head so that he can feel like he should be treating him some type of way.
Right. Well, he was treating him fairly nicely though. Like after they chatted, like they were like when they were
Right.
FaceTiming with Jack, like they started becoming like friendly. But then even he said like, well, what, like me and him are gonna be best friends. Like even if we were, if Michelle tells him fuck Jesse, then he's gonna go with that, which is true. Like there's no way. But I do think he was kind of like treating him nicer, and they were like joking around and stuff. But I don't think he's ever gonna believe that they didn't cheat.
Right.
I do personally. It sounds like they probably did, but I think I wouldn't want to be around the person that I think my spouse cheated with.
That's hard.
I think, and I don't think Jesse's right in the situation either. I think that he's not a great person. I think Michelle's not a great person. I think this guy is, I don't know anything about him, but I think he's pretty strong to be like in this situation to begin with, like having to deal with them. And it seems like Michelle and him do have a good relationship. They seem good for each other. I don't condone cheating, but I think it's good they're together now. Mm-hmm. I think they should be happy. And I hope Jesse, his girlfriend is not on the show, but it seems like he's not very happy with her because he's still meddling with this one.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
So hopefully he finds someone that just brings him a lot of joy, or he can just really heal in life so he could be happy. Because that's what it is. Like, obviously, you're not happy with yourself because, you know, whatever, and you're hurt, and that's what it is.
But it seems like his healing journey has needed to start it. He should have started it like way before like they ever got divorced or separated. Like that's what led them to it. Yeah.
It's almost, it just makes me sad sometimes. And that doesn't mean that I think like nothing he's doing is okay. But it just makes me like kind of sad.
It makes any situation. It's like the same thing with Jax. Like, I cannot stand Jax, but obviously it doesn't take a genius to see like how much anger, hurt, and resentment lives inside of him, causing him to be this way.
I think with Jax, the reason that I feel differently is like we've seen it for a decade.
Yeah.
And Jesse, I'm sure maybe he's been like this for a decade, but we haven't seen it for a decade. So that's why it's like
less compassion.
Maybe I'm just like, yeah. Okay. Miami Housewives, so good.
Like, it's so good.
I think we're on like episode 4, maybe. It's just so good.
Yeah, I think we are only on episode 4. So last week, we didn't talk about shows last week. The last 10 minutes of last week's episode.
Okay, if you don't watch on Spotify or YouTube, you're missing out because Kyra just had some fireworks going off on her screen. Don't know how that happened. I never have any cool special effects.
Happy 5th of July.
She didn't even like do anything interesting.
I didn't do anything. I mean, even my computer
I was the one that was like, so good.
Even my computer knows how much we should be celebrating Real Housewives of Miami.
Truly.
Because let me tell you, those last 10 minutes were fireworks.
They were.
What in God's name is wrong with Julia?
I do not know.
I have wondered since the reboot of Miami why Julia was ever even casted to begin with. To me, like, she just doesn't fit the group. I don't get it. Like, obviously, yes, her wife is an incredibly famous tennis player, but like, not really relevant. So it's not like, okay.
Not really relevant? Not relevant at all.
Yeah. So
this is not Wags of Miami.
Yeah, I just have never understood it. And then season after season, I'm still that confused. And it's like, you are reaching for a storyline. Like, what? First of all, I love Gertie. And there is no way that you can convince me that what Gertie's saying is not what happened. Because I can very much see Julia calling in a panic, because what we have seen between her and her wife is that her and Martina are always getting into arguments. And it seems like, honestly, neither of them seem like they want to be married to one another. They've never seemed that way. So how they've just adopted 2 children, I'm very unclear of why. But I could very much see her and Julia getting into an argument and Julia being like, okay, you're not going on the cruise then. I'm going to call someone else and have them go on the cruise with me. And calling Gertie and having Gertie come last minute and making it a sob story. I don't understand why you're trying to make an argument about she wanted to be a part of the cruise that you invited her on.
That like, she just went on with her own husband. Like, she just went on the same thing.
Like, I don't...
I also feel, I agree with everything you just said. I like Gertie as well. I like her and I like her husband. I also feel, though, that Gertie really hasn't brought anything to this season.
Correct.
Which is unfortunate. And it has nothing to do with this particular situation. I still feel like she's in the right in this situation because I don't think she did anything wrong. But I feel like she's not brought anything to this season. So I kind of feel like they're both just like, why are you here? You're just not doing anything for me. But yeah, the whole situation, it's just like, what are you guys doing? Like, neither of you are doing anything.
And like, it obviously is true that she went and got a facelift while her wife was going through chemo. And so then we see in this week's episode that Martina, says like, oh, but I knew you were going to do that. And like, I knew I was going to be fine. It's like, yeah, just probably wouldn't schedule a facelift while my partner is going through chemo, regardless of if they thought and knew they were going to be okay. Like, doesn't seem like a very pressing thing.
Right. Because then like, what if you weren't okay?
And also... nothing about Julia screaming she got a facelift, so that's even fucking worse. Like,
I know, it's
you don't look much refreshed or tightened.
It's just tragic.
And like, so then she throws this glass of water on Gertie. And for Gertie to just sit there and not lose it, bravo.
Yes. Bravo, 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 Gertie.
Bravo, bravo, bravo. Because the way I would not have done that.
No, she barely, I mean, she didn't even react barely.
She just went.
Yeah. I had to rewind it because I was like almost, like I was on my phone,
Did they
I think.
cut something? Like,
yeah, I was almost like, wait, what is happening? Like, what? Like, did Gertie do something first and that's why she's not reacting, that like Julia did something back? Like, that's what I thought in my head, because I'm like, there's no way that someone's not reacting when someone's throwing water on them. And then I was like, oh no, she's just queen energy. Just like.
And then to like, I mean, obviously people were talking about it online, and then to see this week's episode where she, like, you know, we see her break down, and like, again, we say this, you know, we've said this before, like, we cannot relate to being a Black woman and feeling degraded like that, and saying like how symbolic it was and how personal it felt. And to her point, like, if she did say something, she would have been the angry Black woman. If she did react, and she would have had every single right to, and like, that just is shitty. That just is shitty.
Yeah, it's another layer of stuff that she had to think about, that it's like, she's used to not, like, having to not react because of so many extra things. And it's just so sad that, like, it's just like, what? Like, there was just no need for the situation to begin with, because what the fuck?
And they're at Marisol's wedding, or her wedding reception. And then we have Larsa and Lisa still fighting. Larsa still being so stupid and like
self-absorbed.
I am dead over the fact, no pun intended, that Lisa decides to make Larsa feel bad by sending her a picture of her dad in his coffin. Oh, you want to know why I didn't respond? This is why I didn't respond, because my dad is dead.
The petty of the petty.
Because like, what you can't say anything to a person that sends you a picture of their anyone dead, and it, like, I was like, oh my gosh.
Period. Like, okay.
And now, here's my thing. So Larsa keeps like holding this gripe that Jody is controlling and that Jody's on all of Lisa's business calls. First of all, you and Marcus didn't leave each other's side for the entirety of your relationship.
Including going on a TV show together.
And starting a podcast together.
That was not a team show. You weren't on a team.
And no disrespect to Lisa, but I would say one is more of a business person than the other.
Facts.
And I mean, if your significant other is really strong in business, you'd probably want them on the calls. Because if we recall, when they got together, she had no money because her ex-husband was freezing it all, and he paid for everything. So it's not like, right. So when Larsa keeps saying like, oh, he's a social climber, it's like, from what I know, he literally has all the money. So.
Right. And she doesn't, like, just because someone's on your calls and like helping you doesn't mean like I'm just signing all my money over to them and they have access to everything in my bank account, or they're getting 50% of everything. That's not what that means.
In fact, he's probably making sure that that doesn't happen to her.
Right.
And that whoever she's making the deal with is not taking all of her money.
Right.
And
didn't she move in with him when she moved out of her house? Like, he obviously has his own stuff.
And what we know about Lisa, she's not cheap. She lives a very
Larsa should be concerned
lifestyle.
about her friend Teresa, who you know I love, but Larsa's good friends with her. She should be more concerned about her than Lisa.
And Louis. Because Louis is not the partner you want on your phone calls, making your business deals.
Exactly.
So Larsa's just bleh. And then, of course, we then get introduced to Stephanie, who if you guys follow Real Housewives of Miami, she used to date Dr. Nicole's now husband. I think she's going to be great for TV. I think she's going to be a great addition to Housewives. I don't know if I'm going to like her.
Yeah, she kind of reminds me a little bit of Bronwyn.
But like worse, like not as nice, because she's like, ugh, kids, no thank you. Like I would never change a kid's diaper, and like, ew, I don't want to do that, and like I don't want to get dirty, and like I don't know, like, hey, listen, girl, I can't relate. You got more money than you know what to do with. You took a private plane to pick up your dogs an hour flight. Like I can't relate to that type of wealth. Good, go off. I love it for you. So her and her husband are what, 30 years difference?
I don't know.
Because she said that she said that she was 24 when she met him and he was 47 or something.
So
50,
that would be
50, something like that, I think, or he was in his 50s, and she was like, I would have never dated an older man. And then in walks her husband and changed everything for her. I'm like, yeah, I'm sure his bank account did change everything for you. I'm sure you didn't see age at all.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I think she's going to be good. But I don't know. She kind of reminds me of like what Bronwyn turned into. Like, you know how we didn't like Bronwyn or we did like Bronwyn and then we didn't. So she kind of reminds me of like how Bronwyn was like at the end when we were like, oh, we don't really like her anymore. That's kind of the vibe. But I mean, people always change over the season, so we'll have to see. But I think she's going to be good TV, obviously. So.
You want to know who's not good for TV? Charlie.
Oh, Charlie is horrid. He's such a bad person.
He's disgusting. He is the...
So we have moved on to Next Gen NYC.
Sorry. I just got heated.
If you don't know who Charlie is, new show.
I'm still loving Next Gen. I really, I think it's cool. I also just saw an article that they are going to do Next Gen LA, and that Cynthia Bailey's daughter is on the list, and I forgot who else they said is on the list, but that will be cool as well. Interesting. And then, okay, so it's just like Charlie is the epitome of a gross trust fund kid. Now, I will say, we find out how much his dad gives him a month. Not a lot.
Yeah, what was it? Like
$10,000.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, okay. That is a lot.
To just be given $10,000, yes. But like to live the way he's living, that's
right.
You have
I just wanted to like reframe, like, we think that is a lot of money.
But I mean, $120,000 a year in New York City is like, you're considered poverty. Like you need more than that to survive in New York. Now, so like, I just have to imagine that has to just be his spending money that he's given every month. Because there's no way.
Like, I feel like his dad probably like pays his rent and does everything, and then the $10,000 is just like on top of like his essentials and like his rent.
Which again, to me, still doesn't seem like a lot,
right?
With the way he chooses to live, like
yes, because he's like, it doesn't seem like concerned about money at all, and $10,000 would not be that type of lifestyle in New York.
They spent $14,000 going out for one night. So,
right, it wasn't that on like one bottle.
Yeah, well, it was bottles, but for the
night. Okay, like on bottle service or whatever.
Yeah.
So, and just as a reminder, Charlie is or was best friends with the guys who were recently in the news for kidnapping someone, like in the crypto world. Like those were his like best friends, and he like lived with them or something. So those are the type of crowd he is with.
And so there's this girl, Georgia, that we haven't really spoke about much. I think she is also like, she is New York. Like she is like quirky. You don't really know, like, you know, she throws parties. You don't know how or why, or like
she
how
wash her hands.
how she yeah.
That's her
How
main
she
storyline.
knows, literally, and that she doesn't have a cell, and that she was texting via her laptop at the club.
Strange.
So Charlie and her are friends, and they meet for lunch at the end of this week's episode, where he calls her a bitch, a nasty,
And says if she was a man, he would slap her in the face over a $200 Bose speaker that she gave back to him, but wasn't fast enough for him.
Also, in my mind, when he said, I need my speakers back, like, I was thinking, like, a speaker system.
House speakers.
Which, like, I still didn't understand why he needed them back at such a, like, short time frame.
The way they were editing the end of this episode, I thought it was going to be, like, something crazy. Like, I thought it was going to go into the crypto, like, kidnapping thing. Because they were like, and then you texted me on this day, and then it got into this day, and it wasn't responding. And I thought it was going to somehow tie into her boyfriend being the crypto trader, because I was like, they're really going on and on about this speaker thing. And they keep talking about how she's not getting the speakers back fast enough. And I was like, what is it with the speaker? Like, I'm so confused. And then it was like, oh, it's a $200 speaker that she gave back to him, and he's so enraged. And they jaunts off on his little skateboard. It's
like someone hit him on his fucking skateboard.
I thought, like, because you know, like, when there's something big that happens at the end of an episode that's like when Jen Shaw goes to prison, it's like very dramatic. And I was like, oh, this is some shit. And I was like, what?
No. All that
for a $200 speaker. Like, what?
And like the way he was talking about her behind her back to others, and he was saying like how she was homeless, and like, and I loved that Ava was like, well, she clearly has your speaker somewhere, so I don't think she's homeless.
Right. And in her confessional, she's like, I pay my own rent. You don't. Your dad does.
He's so fucking gross.
When to the other girls that he was friends with, when he disrespected them, which I think we talked about before, and then he like apologized and seemed genuine, and then went back and said, oh, I didn't mean it, I just said it. I'm like, you're disgusting. No wonder your parents hate you.
Still loving Ariana, still loving her boyfriend, still loving Riley, still loving Brooks. Like, truly love every single one on the show except for Charlie. So there's no way he's being asked back for a second season.
We love Brooks.
We love Brooks.
I love him so much. And like, I love seeing him and his parents. I mean, we've always loved his parents. We've always loved him, like when we've seen him on Housewives. But I love that, like, he has his own thing. I love his sister. I just love all of it. And he's so funny. I love, like, when he gets mad at his parents, when he was, like, yelling at his dad about, like, tracking his phone. And then his dad was like, is this it? And he was like, oh, yeah, thank God. I just love everything about him.
I love that, like, he was, like, talking about how he ended up in New York, or, like, what has happened to him since he's lived in New York. And he goes, I don't know. I found out I liked men.
Amazing.
Oh, my God. And then he had to go to therapy. So in last week's episode, he talks about how he had to go to therapy because his house was haunted.
I know, he was like seeing little elves or something.
And so then Ava's like looking at him, and he was like, that's okay. I survived. I don't see them anymore.
Yeah. She was like, that's not normal. He's like, no, it's okay.
I'm fine.
Okay.
So yeah, looking forward to just, continuing to see how this season unfolds. I really, really, really do like them.
Yes. Okay, so Love Island. I have so many mixed thoughts because one day I love this season, one day I hate it. I keep going back and forth. Like I'm gonna keep watching it no matter what. Like that's who I am with Love Island. I do want to start watching the UK one. I mean, I've always watched UK, but I haven't watched it this season yet. But okay, we haven't talked about it in a couple weeks, and obviously this isn't on every day. Lots of things have happened. Lots of things have changed. So I'm sure we're going to skip things because so many things have happened. But so Casa Amor happened. That was about to happen the last time we talked. Overall, this season, everything's been different than how it usually is because I think like there's not many like real couples. So the producers have kind of had to like do things differently. because everything's different. So in my opinion, everything has just been a little meh. It's just the way that they did Casa Amor and had them break up and do like Alondra and Nick got separated and then they went back to the village. Like just everything has been like, why are we doing this? Like, I don't like this. We have really only had like one, maybe two, like real recouplings where they have picked who they want to recouple with. The rest have been like America picking, or which I also think is like stupid. I mean, I get that it's because there's not like real couples, but we really don't get those recouplings where they're like making speeches and like doing things. We really haven't gotten that. Like when's the last we haven't had that.
No, the Casa Amor, I guess. Like
when they came back, but even that, it was they wrote it on the board, and then they were like, it wasn't a real recoupling. So we really haven't since. And then like even I was gonna say, oh, when Jeremiah chose Iris, but no, they were behind the door. Like we really have not gotten like a legitimate like recoupling situation.
No.
So it's just been like a weird season, and I feel like even the couples that are together, like so right now we have like Shelly and Ace, but like even them, they're still kind of like, oh, well, I want to explore this, I want to, and then like Nick and Sierra, I don't know, I just feel like none of the couples are really 100%, even the ones that supposedly are. So yeah, anyways, how are you feeling about people and things? And
kind of the same as you. Like, I'm really underwhelmed by everyone. We are not seeing, because traditionally, like, as a whole, even like UK, Australia, like all of the Love Island franchises, they do have a good success rate of couples staying together. So like it is one of the dating shows that does historically like get real couples that stay together, and we are just not seeing that this season. And
if you guys know Molly May and Tommy Fury, they came from Love Island.
Yeah. And like when we last left off, we were like Olandria and Shelly, like those were our girls. And we are now, they are not so much our girls. We thought they were such girls. We like were truly like, they had everyone's back. We're seeing like a lot of mean girl cliquey behavior. You know me, I'm still over here, not Team Huda. Like this bitch is still fucking insecure, manipulative, toxic, all of the things. And it's so funny, like on the internet, like how people are like, if you're still out there defending Huda, like there's something wrong with you. And like, she's just gross. You can see it. Like she just is someone who is so insecure and uses sex as her way out of everything during that. So then like, obviously, like, you know, go to the internet to get your answers, because so the heart rate challenge has happened. And if you have watched in the past, you know, it's like they're in lingerie. They lap dance, like everyone does a lap dance.
Which, first of all, I don't like that how they did the heart rate challenge either, that they did it in couples. They always do it individually where all the boys are sitting there and the girls come out, and then all the girls are, why did they do it with that was weird. And then they're all doing like threesomes.
Right. And like they're normally like sitting on the balcony, like cheering them on, like whoever. Yeah.
It was so weird. Like, why did they redo? Yeah, that was weird. I didn't like that either. Anyway, sorry, keep going.
So we see Huda and she grabs Ace, which, by the way, again, fucking strategic. You did that to get back at Shelly because Shelly was going in between Chris and Ace, and you liked Chris. Like 100,000,000%, that's why you chose him. As soon as she picked him, I was like, that's why. And so it looks cut up as we're watching it, and like you just see everyone's face at the very end, like super like shocked. And like, of course, what she was already doing was like, okay, like Shelly's supposed to be your girl, like that's not how you dance on your girl's man. Like we understand that it's a heart rate challenge, but why did you pick your best friend's significant other? Like you could have picked anyone and done what you did. You chose to pick your friends, which is fucking weird. But so then the internet like cuts it up clip by clip, and she 100% sat on his face. That's why everyone made that gesture, because when I was watching it in real time, I'm like, well, that's weird. like she was facing him and then all of a sudden she was up. Like I knew something was cut because there was no way her body position could have gone from that to that like so quickly. And then of course the internet goes back and like chops it all away. So it's like, and Shelly gets, Shelly's like really upset with Huda. And I very much fucking get it. And Huda's like, it's just a challenge. It's just a challenge. It's just a challenge. Where was that energy when your man was trying to just do a challenge and you were watching him like a hawk or telling people to back away from him or saying like, I don't like that fucking bitch. I don't like that fucking bitch. Stay away from my man. Stay away from my man. But you sat on this man's face? No, girl.
Okay, this is my thing. I 100% agree that she is insecure. That's not a crime. And that's not a reason to not like someone. I think she is insecure. I think that's really sad. And I think that as a girl's girl, when other girls are insecure, that's not a reason to not like them, because I think that is sad. I agree she uses sex to deal with things, and I'm not saying that's right, but I think it's because she's insecure. I think that's really sad.
She's toxic, she's manipulative.
But I don't think that it's because she is those things. I think it's because she's insecure. I think that Shelly wants to have her cake and eat it too, which I think is unfair. I think she wants Ace and Chris, and Huda made it very clear that she was interested in Chris also, and Shelly's like trying to claim both. So she's like, well, Ace is my man, but then in the next challenge, when they're doing not challenge, but like the stand on business thing, then she starts, now I'm mad about Chris too. So not only am I pissed that you danced on Ace, but now I'm also mad that you brought Chris. So you're not allowed to have either of them, because now I'm pissed about both. Okay, well, bitch, you're not allowed to have both. You're not allowed to be claiming both. That's not how this works. You're not close off.
Actually, is how this works?
Nope, it's not how it works. So Huda's not allowed to have either? She's not allowed to have a man? No. You're allowed to take dibs on every man?
I don't agree with, I agree that, I'm sorry, my point is that you can have more than one person, because that's what you're there
not that is off limits to everyone else.
No, that part.
Right, of course Shelly can have ones that she's interested in, but she cannot, what I meant is it is not how it works that you can have off limits to everyone.
Correct.
And so if this is my man is Ace, great. Then that's your man. So don't start talking about Chris now and how you're upset. Then I also want to bring up the fact that Sierra and Nick are, fairly coupled up. Mm-hmm. And Alondria, who's her bestie, then goes and explores him. Where's the girl code there? Goes back to the villa. Alondria is the only one that knows who went home, because she's the girl that went home, essentially, went home. And she's making out with Nick, like, all up in that and not in a challenge. And I don't blame the girls for not getting mad, because they don't really know the extent of what happened. Like, they don't know how serious this kiss was in Soul Ties. But then Alondria's getting mad at Huda. Oh, well, tell the class what you did with Chris when Shelly's interested in him. I'm sorry, bitch. You were all up on your friend's man when she was over in Casa Amor. She definitely downplayed it.
Agreed. I agree, but I think that
and said, "Oh yeah, we just decided we didn't like each other." You were exploring your friend's man. Huda told Shelly that she was interested. You don't have to run to her and say, we kissed. You said, we're exploring. I like him. Obviously, you like him. You brought him back from Casa Amor. It's obvious that we like each other. I don't think you have to tell someone every time you kiss.
No, I think that she was like, yeah, I mean, there's so many things, like, again, that, like, have happened that, like, I have now moved past, because I'm like, okay, we're on to another problem. For example, like, my issue with Alondria, like, I'm sorry, like, everyone wants to, like, hate Taylor. What did he do wrong? Right. What did he do wrong? Prior to Clark getting there, he was trying to be into Alondria. And you could tell that he just, like, really wasn't. Like, he was, but he wasn't. And, like, given his options, much like everyone else who is basing their actions on their options, he meets Clark, and everyone as a viewer, you can instantly see he changes. His whole demeanor changes. You could tell that this is how he acts when he is feeling a woman. And I don't think he did anything wrong. He's there to explore. So I really appreciated during the Standing on Business challenge when he was like, I'm not here just for you. Like, this is not just your experience. Like, this is my experience too. And I don't think he was mean to her, rude to her, disrespectful to her. None of the things. So for everyone like on the internet and like even some of my other friends that I was talking with, they were like, well, he led her on. And I'm like, how did he lead her on? He was trying to figure it out just as much and then realized, oh, I don't like her. And as soon as he realized that, was like, okay, I don't want to hurt this girl's feelings, but I don't feel this way. And I think that Clark has handled herself incredibly. I think that like, and I just feel like when Olandria like really goes off on Taylor, it's like, girl, I know you needed to get that out, but you look stupid.
Yes, I agree with that. I think if anything, like, I know that people really dislike Huda, and that's completely valid. I think that a lot of people should also look at the things that Olandria is doing, and she does a lot of the same stuff, and they don't, not saying you, but a lot of people like Olandria, and she does similar things in a different way. She does use sex. She was going after Nick. I think if Nick didn't say after that kiss, like, oh, I wasn't really feeling it, I think she would have kept going with him. But he said it first, and then she said, I was thinking the same thing. Like, I didn't feel it either. But in her confessional, before he told her that, not confessional, but like whatever, she was like, oh yeah, that was a really good kiss, blah, blah, blah. And so I think she would have kept going with it because she didn't know how things were going to go with Taylor. So it's like, I think she is sneaky too. I think it's like Huda just has a bigger personality, and she's more emotional and cries and like is more like out there with her sexuality and is more out loud about her insecurities, which makes people like see it more. And Olandria is more like, okay, I'm not gonna. Olandria was kissing the pictures. She was all over Taylor in the heart rate challenge.
Which I respect. I respect it completely because I would have done the exact same thing. Like, let me get my get back real quick. I know that, and I liked it when she even said, when she was like, listen, I'm not with somebody, so I could do what I could do. I'm gonna make him like remember this. And then he was like, but he kept it cute with me because he does owe it to Clark to be cute. Like that, I have no problem with, because that's like,
yeah, I mean, yeah, but I feel like she does things behind the scenes. Yeah, she told Sierra that they kissed, but didn't really. It was kind of like, oh, we like, no. You were like, let's see if we can get to know each other and explore this, and like, we were tonguing each other down.
Yeah, no,
she's sneaky.
I mean, for sure.
I don't like any. I like Huda, but I don't like any of the girls.
I like Iris.
I do like Iris. I feel bad. TJ went home.
And hello.
And I do like Huda.
Amaya Papaya.
Love.
Protect at all costs. We love her.
So I will just say I don't like Olandria. I don't like Sierra. I don't like Shelly. Huda, I will say I like her. That doesn't mean I agree with everything she does, but I like her.
I like Iris. Amaya, Iris, Sierra are my top three.
See, Sierra is like the slimiest one. Like when you say you like her, I'm like, she is the least girl's girl out of all of them.
I don't know.
Literally out of all of them.
I just don't see it. I do like her.
Huda owns up. She was crying. She was apologizing to Shelly, and Shelly's looking at her.
Doesn't give a fuck about
Shelly's
anyone.
like,
she uses her tears
Shelly's like,
to get sympathy and play victim.
Shelly's
like, that's exactly what I would have done too to that bitch.
Shelly should be apologizing too.
No,
Shelly is such a bitch.
And then Huda, like sitting off by the side, like, nah.
Yeah, so would I.
And then everyone's
like, because they make her sit there.
No.
Yeah, they do.
She did it on purpose. She's so theatrical.
No, she has to sit there.
Victim.
The producers 100% make her sit there. You can tell they all had to sit there. That's why they make them do that. All the girls have to go talk and all the boys have to talk. And I wouldn't want to be part of that either. All of them just talk shit about her. I would have done the same thing. I would have been like, bitches, I have to sit here and I don't want to talk to you.
No. But this is the problem because you could feel that way, but you want to sit over there. You don't say one word. The moment someone says, are you okay? You're like, no, because now everyone's paying attention to me and I'm going to storm off now. Don't talk to me. That's what she did because you could have just
because the conversation was over. I would have been like, no, I don't want to talk.
No, she did it on purpose. Everything she does is so fucking calculated because she always wants to play victim. No.
Also, wait, I have one more thing I forgot to say. In this TikTok I saw, there was a video from the challenge they did when there was Casa Amor in the villa. So when Alondria was in the villa, Alondria was making the fuck out with Ace. Like, hardcore. And we never heard about that.
Didn't even see that.
Well, it was on there because someone found it and it was a clip and it was when they were like all on each other's shoulders and whatever. Alondria and Ace are going the fuck at it. Hardcore.
It's just a challenge.
It's just a challenge. Well, apparently not. If it's your friend's man, you shouldn't be doing that. Well, Alondria is doing it with everyone's man. Doesn't matter if it's her friend or not. It's okay if Alondria does it, but not Huda. So fuck y'all.
No, nothing that Huda does is okay. The only thing good that Huda can do is go home.
If you see the video, the TikToks of Huda with her daughter, they are so sweet. They're readies with me.
Speaking of, how do we compare Chris being sad about basketball and like his career, like what life he'll turn in, like what he's going to do next with his life, to her being like, I know, that's how I feel about my daughter. It's like, those are two very different things. You left for 6 weeks to go find love. He left basketball and is like wondering what he's going to do next with his life. Those aren't the same thing.
Well, I will say, I listened to Jeremiah's podcast interview on Nick Vile.
Mm-hmm.
And he said they talked about her daughter all the time. And obviously they don't show that. So I will take it with a grain of salt when we hear something that she says. I mean, yeah, that's like a stupid thing. But like, I think it's like not a good representation, which I think is obvious. We haven't heard her talk about her daughter at all. And that's probably by design.
Well, yeah, because she didn't want to tell anyone she was a mom. She wanted to manipulate them and fall in love with her first.
I'm a mommy.
I don't really care about the people that went home.
I don't even fucking know who went home. Fuck them.
Like, whatever. I mean, honestly, it's like lackluster season, like whatever. At this point, I hope that Amaya and Brian win and that Iris and Pepe.
I hope Amaya wins by herself.
Me too. Okay. But I think that Brian really likes her, so I like that.
I think that is sweet.
And I think that is like a cute little matchup. So we shall see. I think we have 1 or 2 weeks left.
You know, Pepe can go home and be with Hannah and just get off the TV.
But I like him with Iris. I can see that.
Yeah, but it's just like, okay, you just go. We don't care.
Yeah.
And
I mean, based on any of the other couples, I want them to stay because I want them to win and not become runners up. Like none of the other people I don't want to be runners up, you know?
I know. And they're going to still bring in new people. And it's like, I hate when they do that. It's like,
I hate when they do that too because it's like.
They always bring in people like 2 days before. Like bombshells. And it's like, okay.
Cool.
We don't know who those people are.
Right. So yeah, so we shall see what happens. And then last but not least, we got the Secret Lives of Mormon Wives reunion.
Talk about lackluster.
Not great. I'm sorry, Nick Vile. Like you're not an Andy Cohen.
He's like trying to be Dr. Phil. Always. Yeah,
it was not great. We also like didn't really learn anything.
No,
like nothing was like summed up. Or I mean, also I didn't leave watching the season with a lot of questions to begin with, but like it was just like, why are we doing this reunion? Like it didn't seem necessary.
There's something that I'm mad that they didn't talk about.
Okay,
which was Taylor's parents.
Oh yeah, I'm shocked that
because they showed the clip,
right?
And they showed everyone like reacting to it, kind of like when they show, and then like they didn't address it at all. And I was like, "Hello, we need to like speak about this."
Kelly had watched it before I did, and so she was like, it was like kind of like a lot of heavy stuff, which it very much was. Like a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't honestly, I mean, obviously he put his business out there for everyone, but the takeaway is Whitney's husband, what a gem. Like when he said, I wrote some things down, is that okay if I share them with you?
That was so sweet.
And then like thanking everyone for listening to him and letting him say what he needed to say. Like all of it was just, I mean, that moment.
So tender and touching. And what's her name? The blonde
Macy.
I can't think of her name. Macy's husband was like crying just throughout the whole thing. And they kept showing him and I'm like, oh, what a sweetheart. He was just like crying at everyone's stories.
And like when Layla was talking about, is that her name, Layla?
Yeah.
When she was talking about her body dysmorphia and he was crying and he's like, sorry, I'm just a girl, Dad. Like I know. I'm like,
oh. The way he said, he's like, I'm just a girl, Dad.
Oh my God. But yeah, other than that, honestly, I really don't have anything to say except for Jen, you are not related to Ben Affleck.
It's so delusional and embarrassing.
When she's just like this.
I don't know. Maybe we
still don't know.
I hope he gets a restraining order against her.
Literally.
That's like serious, like super fan, like scary.
I just don't get it because like for what? Like you're famous and you make money. Like what do you need?
It's so embarrassing.
To, like, so fucking weird. I will say it does seem like her and her husband are in a better place. So good for them. Congratulations.
Yeah, he doesn't want to lose out on that money. He stopped going to medical
school. They just had their third baby this week. And then it was announced that her and Whitney will be on this coming season of Dancing with the Stars.
Whitney? Okay, she's not my favorite. Like, I mean, I'm neutral about her. But she was disappointed at first. Mm-hmm. But she was so kind. She was like, well, maybe next season. Mm-hmm. And then when she got announced, she was so excited. And I was so happy for her. Like, and her husband was so happy for her. Like, it just, that was so sweet. Yeah.
And she's for sure going to beat Jen. Because she's a much better dancer than Jen.
And Jen was like, oh my God, we're moving to LA together. Like, Jen, you're in, no, honey.
Yeah. No. But honestly, like.
Okay, but I do think it's important for us to decide or to say, do we think, because it's supposedly going to be addressed on season 3.
Oh, right.
Did Jesse hook up with Marciano?
Yes. Hook up, yes. Do I think they had sex? No.
I don't know. I for sure think they did something, yes. Me too.
Yeah, 100%.
But I hope her and her husband work it out. I think they really seem sweet together.
It seems like they are. I mean, I'm sure there's obvious hurt, and what we do know, not from personal experience, but marriage is hard. I mean, we've been in relationships. Relationships are hard. There's ups and downs, and you have to work through some things. And, if we're talking about 30 plus years with someone, like there are going to be tough times. And, hopefully they, just find their way back to one another.
Yeah. Yeah, because they seem really sweet together. And well, that was it for the shows. That was a lot, but I think we did it. And what do we have coming up? So OC is starting soon.
The challenge starts at the end of this month.
And I don't know if anything.
And then just the Valley's going to wrap up soon. We have Miami. I mean, everything that nothing new other than Orange County and the challenge.
Okay. And then I know they showed the preview for the next Mormon Wives, but I don't remember when it's starting, if that's starting soon.
Well, my client's sister is the producer of season 3 and they are currently still filming. So.
But sometimes it starts even when they're still filming.
Well, they have to like edit and stuff. She was just in.
Yeah, but they showed like the preview for it for the season at the end of the reunion. True.
Which is like, cause my client is going to be on it. So I can't really like say what they did, but they were just like a week. They like had come back from Stagecoach and then a week later they got like a break and then they started filming again.
I wanted to see if it said online. Nope. So it must just be, they just have the trailer out, but it doesn't say. Well, cool.
Mm-hmm.
They're renewed for 20 episodes.
Bet. So that's
Shoot. That's a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Because this past season was only 10. So then, yeah, they're probably breaking it up into 2. Okay, well, as always, we're going to end with our goals. We hope that you laughed and learned with us. You know, we like talking about all the gossip and fun things, but we love to learn with some, love to end with some growing. So what is one thing you're working on?
I've got to get everything done early this week because I have a very busy week this week. Stacy's wedding is this weekend. So, and then my friend Chrissy comes on Friday. So I'll be doing wedding stuff all weekend. So yeah, I have just a lot to get done.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
I am working on packing up my house because I'm moving. What's one thing you're looking forward to?
Stacy's wedding.
Nice.
I can't wait. She came in the other day and like we did her color and like we were just like talking about everything. And like, I'm like, I can't believe your wedding is like literally this coming weekend. Like what?
Know, that's wild.
And it's going to be the perfect weather in San Diego. Like, and she's just so excited. Like it's going to be a great time.
Yay. I am looking forward to having not a super busy week for once.
Lucky duck.
Yeah, I'm going to take advantage of that and not overbook myself and try to relax a little. What is one thing that made you feel like an adult?
I did not cancel my work day on Thursday. I worked like 12 hours and I wanted to cancel so bad because I stayed out a little bit too late past my bedtime on Wednesday. And I really was struggling on Thursday. But I was like, Kyra, these people are counting on you. Be dependable, be an adult, show up.
Nice. Mine was
getting all your stuff done today.
I guess. I mean, I just like packed.
Yeah, but then like you like patched the holes. Like that's very adult.
Well, my dad patched the holes. I didn't do that.
You're a team.
I mean, yeah.
Take credit. Legal's part of this anyway, so.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I did post some stuff on Facebook Marketplace for sale. That felt like geriatric.
We'll take it. We will take it.
What's one thing you did to contribute to your mental health?
I laughed a lot with my friends. I got to see hometown friends this week. A lot of Connecticut happened this week, and it was great. It was so great.
Okay. I'm going to say just having like one-on-one time with friends. Like we went to breakfast, went to coffee with a friend, and just, yeah, had lots of good chats, which I always love. So yeah, that is all for this week. And make sure you are following us on wherever you listen, of course, YouTube, Spotify, Apple, TikTok, Instagram. You know, we're posting all kinds of stuff over there. Make sure you share with a friend, you leave a comment, a review, all those things. We love to see them. When we get them, we love the feedback. Yes. And answer all of these questions with us. Like, what made you feel like an adult? What are you working on? What are you looking forward to? We want to know. So let us know. And we will see you next week.
Bye.